Once there lived a poor family in a small village, a husband, a wife, and their little daughter named Anaya. Life was not easy for them. Every day brought new struggles, especially financial ones. The mother tried hard to find a job, but no opportunity came her way. Anaya, though just a child, could sense the tension at home. She would often ask her mother, "When will everything get better in our house?" Her heart ached seeing her friends live peacefully, while her own home was filled with worry about food, money, and tomorrow. To comfort her, Anaya's father would take her outside every evening. He'd point to a distant mountain and say, "God lives up there. If you truly pray, he will hear you." Anaya took his words to heart. Every day, with folded hands and innocent hope, she prayed for one thing. "Please, God, give my father a job." Miraculously, her prayers were answered. Her father got a job in the army, as a soldier. The family was overjoyed, but their happiness was short-lived. Soon, war broke out, and her father was called to the battlefield. On the day of his departure, Anaya hugged him tightly. With tears in her eyes, she begged, "Dad, don't go. I'm sorry I asked God for this job. It's dangerous. Please stay with us." Her father gently stroked her head and said, "My dear, some duties are bigger than our fears. If I lose my life for my country, it will still be a life well lived." As he was leaving, Anaya gave him a folded letter and whispered, "Dad, please give this to the God on the mountain." Her father smiled and tucked the letter into his bag. On the way to the war zone, the soldiers passed a small post office near the mountain. Her father, thinking of his daughter, wrote on the envelope, "Forgive me, my child. There is no God here. I only said it to give you hope." He dropped it in the mailbox, intending it to be returned home, not knowing what the future held. The war was brutal. It lasted months. One by one, soldiers from his unit died. News came to the village. The entire unit was presumed dead. Anaya's house was filled with grief. Her mother wept silently, and Anaya cried to God, "Why did you take my father away?" But after 4 long months, there was a knock at the door. A frail, wounded man stood there, barely recognizable, but Anaya knew. She ran and hugged him, shouting, "Dad, I knew you'd come. We were so worried. I prayed every single day. Now I know God got my letter. He sent you back to us. I love you, Dad. I love you so much." He had been captured, tortured, and beaten by the enemy, but had somehow escaped. He had returned home. As the family wept in each other's arms, another visitor arrived, a local traveler from the war zone. He handed the father a letter that had never reached its destination. It was the same letter he had sent with the message, "Forgive me, my child. God does not exist." Choking up, he opened the letter Anaya had written. It simply said, "Dear God, please send my father home safely from the war." He looked at Anaya. He was home. Her prayer had been answered. In that moment, he realized God wasn't on the mountain. God was in Anaya's innocent faith, in her pure heart, and in the love that brought him back. This story reminds us that when a prayer comes from the heart, it travels beyond mountains, borders, and logic. True faith doesn't demand proof. It only asks for sincerity. If your feelings are pure, your voice reaches heaven. And sometimes when hope seems lost, God answers in ways that remind us he was listening all along. So remember, God may not always answer the way we expect, but he always hears. If this story warmed your heart, comment, "Faith has power," and share it with your loved ones. May God bless you always.